Okay, board members, you all set? Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Community Unit School District 300 Board of Education, I would like to thank you for being in attendance both virtually and in person for tonight's board meeting. At this time, I would like to reconvene the meeting of the Community Unit School District 300 Board of Education to order for Tuesday, August 8th, 2023. Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Burkett, present. Fiorentino,
Present.
Gothier,
Present.
McKinday. Present. Scarpino,
Present.
Thomas. Zettler.
Present.
You have 7 board members present.
Thank you. Would you all please rise for a pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For those who have watched our board meetings, both in person and over the internet, you will remember we have rules of decorum. These rules serve a purpose so we as a board can have a meaningful and productive board meeting. In order for this to occur, decorum must be maintained. The following are the rules of decorum. First, there is no need for anyone to call out comments during our meeting or to raise their voices, nor to interrupt another speaker or presenter. We as a board will listen to you and be respectful. We will consider your comments, but will not dialogue or engage with speakers in this forum. Board members may choose to discuss matters brought up during public comment during board discussion. However, I need to remind everyone that this would be a board discussion, and the board will not dialogue or engage with anyone other than the superintendent and other board members. I ask you to please be respectful, civil, and courteous during our meeting. If a person chooses to be disruptive, I will gavel the person and ask them to please stop their disruptive behavior. Additionally, our district safety officer or his agent may warn them that if they choose to continue their disruptive behavior, additional consequences will be forthcoming. Third, if a person chooses to continue to be disruptive and not follow the rules, they will be removed from our meeting. This action is a direct result of the person's choice to be disruptive. We as a board will respectfully listen to each speaker. Just because we didn't vote the way someone wanted us to does not mean we didn't listen or take into consideration what you had to say. Please remember, we all learn differently. Some of us take notes during presentations and therefore take our eyes off of the speaker. It doesn't mean we are not listening. In our effort to accommodate the ability for more seating in our boardroom, we respectfully request that the audience remain in their seats throughout the duration of the meeting. And finally, I want to thank you in advance for your cooperation. The board and I look forward to a meaningful and productive meeting. Item number 5 is the approval of the agenda. We will be removing item number 11.3, the employee discipline case 1. That will be removed. And we will also be removing the second closed session. With those changes, do I have a motion to approve the amended agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll? That's all right. Here, use mine. You're welcome.
Who was first? Okay. Thank you. Zettler,
Aye.
Fiorentino,
Aye.
Gothier,
Aye.
Burkett, aye. McKinday,
Aye.
Scarpino,
Aye.
Thomas. Aye. Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Item number 6, recognition. Dr. Harkin.
Yes, so we have one recognition of our group of staff members, and then we have several new staff members that are taking on new roles in the district that I will be introducing. So the first recognition is National Financial Awareness Day. On August 14th, District 300 will celebrate National Financial Awareness Day. On National Financial Awareness Day, we sincerely appreciate the dedicated district employees in our business office. Their expertise and efforts are integral to the smooth functioning of our educational institution, and we recognize the vital role they play in managing our financial operations. The diligent work undertaken under the leadership of Ms. Porter by the business office ensures that budgets are efficiently managed and financially transparent, and we continue to maintain that. We are grateful for their hard work and dedication to all of our business office staff members for their commitment to financial discretion and contribution to the overall success of the district. We thank them. So please join me in celebrating our business office staff members. Yeah. And next up, we will be introducing, like I said, four staff members that are moving into new roles. So first, I'd like to have Ms. Alyssa Gilliland come forward. So tonight, I am excited to introduce Mrs. Alyssa Gilliland as our Director of Learning and Development for District 300. After graduating from Carroll University with a Bachelor of Arts degree in English and Secondary Education, Alyssa began her career as a Dundee Crown High School as an English teacher. Through serving on a variety of school and district leadership teams, Alyssa recognized a call to be part of work happening outside of the classroom, which prompted her to earn a master's degree in educational leadership from Aurora University. After serving, she left us for a little bit, as an instructional coach at Huntley High School, Alyssa returned to District 300 last year as the coordinator of professional development, where she supported the logistical planning of learning events for district staff members. In her new role as Director of Learning and Development, Alyssa looks forward to collaborating with building leaders to design targeted learning opportunities, as well as supporting district-wide programs to help staff grow and thrive in District 300. Just a little other piece of information. Alyssa was recognized as one of our educator spotlights, probably 7 or 8 years ago, maybe. And she was one of the ones that I don't know that we've done that many of them, but I remember vividly just what an example of being an outstanding teacher, which we believe will really lead well to her being successful in this role. So please join me in congratulating Alyssa Gilliland as the new Director of Learning and Development for District 300.
Congratulations to you.
And I do want to acknowledge that her husband here is as well too, Jack. And as we know, as I say every time, we're very appreciative of you as well too. All right. So next, I would like Kelly Manolfi to come join me in the front here. So tonight, I'm excited to introduce Mrs. Kelly Manolfi as the Director of Employee Relations and Recruitment for District 300. Kelly has a professional background in education, having earned a bachelor's degree from Western Illinois University, a master's degree in education from National Louis University, and an administrative certificate from Aurora University. She began her educational career in 1997 as a student teacher at Dundee Crown High School. Just so you know, her and Alberto were student teachers together, so she goes way back. She's followed by serving as an English as a second language teacher at both Dundee Crown and Carpentersville Middle School. Kelly has also served as the District 300 as a bilingual department leader and team leader at CMS. As an assistant principal at Dundee Crown and as a coordinator of student services in District 300's Education Services Department, she has helped shape and implement programs to support student development and learning across the district. In her new role, she's replacing Dr. Berkey, who is now one of our assistant superintendents supporting our schools. And so in her new role, she will be replacing Nikki as our Employee of Relations and Recruitment. And Kelly will help lead District 300 in hiring and retaining staff members who are knowledgeable and diverse. I do want to acknowledge that with her tonight are her husband, Joe, and her son, Nico. We're very grateful to have you here, and thanks for sharing your mom with us and your wife. And we're really just excited to have Kelly join us. She's been in central office for a year last year. She was over here, and she has just thrived, and we're just really excited for her to step into this new role, so thank you. right, Mr. Nowak, you're up next. Come on forward. All right. So tonight, I'm also excited to introduce Mr. David Nowak as Director of 504 Plans and Alternative Learning for District 300. David has a Bachelor of Arts degree from Northern Illinois University and a Master of Arts degree in Educational Administration from Aurora University. And just so you know, he is replacing Kelly and actually expanding his duties to take on her roles. We have a whole different narration for your introduction. Yeah, right, I know, right? Hopefully that 1-0 was for the Cubs and not the other team. All right, there we go.
There we go.
All righty. Thank you for that intermission break there. Was it? Okay. Okay, so back to Mr. Nowak. Mr. Nowak, again, is replacing Ms. Milnofi and taking on her duties along with the ones he previously had. He began his academic career in 2002 as a physical education and health teacher here at Algonquin Middle School. Over his 21 years in District 300, David has also taught and coached multiple sports at Dundee Crown High School, Jacobs High School, and Carpentersville Middle School. In 2016, he transitioned to Dean of Students at CMS. During the past 3 years, David served the District 300 community as coordinator of alternative learning. And in this role, David put a major emphasis, I don't know why people put David on here, though. I do not know you as David. So David put a major emphasis on staff development and community building as part of the district's alternative education programming. In his new role as director of 504 Plans and Alternative Learning, David will continue to work with the growing and supporting of all the district staff. So please join me in congratulating Mr. David Nowak as the new director of 504 Plans and Alternative Learning.
No, you're fine. I'm just glad it wasn't the Cubs game.
Thank you. And last but not least, if I could have Susan Rowling, who is joined by her husband, Todd, this evening. I don't know if he's here because he's supporting you, or if he just has to be, so. And I think just, you know, as I'll read the last bio here, I am so thrilled that we have a place where people can grow and stay in our system and find ways to give back. We've been very fortunate to just see that continuation. Susan's going to be another example of somebody that's deeply entrenched in our community, deeply dedicated to our school district, and everybody here tonight has had very integral roles on shaping what our students can do. So I'm just thrilled that we've got lots of great internal people that step up into this role. So on that note, I'm excited to introduce Mrs. Susan Rowling back to the central office as our Director of Education Services for Secondary. As a former District 300 student, Susan is a graduate of Dundee Crown High School. She has a bachelor's degree from Roosevelt University, a master's degree from Concordia University, and a Director of Special Education Endorsement from Aurora University. Susan started her career in District 300 in 1999 as a paraeducator at Dundee Highlands Elementary School. She also taught special education at Carpentersville Middle School and has been a special education administrator at Dundee Crown High School and Central Office. For the past 4 years, she served as our principal at Perry Elementary School. In her new role as Director of Education Services Secondary, Susan will contribute her professional skills to the Education Services Department, helping ensure all district students have an engaging and inclusive educational experience. Susan loves kids. Everybody here loves kids, but Susan loves kids, and I know she's going to do an excellent job in this role. So please join me in congratulating Susan Rowling as our new Director of Education Services.
Congratulations, Todd.
Please feel free, family, to go. So, yeah, yeah. Except Todd, you have to say yes. Thank you for being here. And that concludes staff recognition.
Thank you. Since we are just days away from the start of a new school year, I wanted to start this meeting with a second grade joke. And this individual who gave me the joke happens to be my grandson. He is so excited about being in second grade. And he's excited about the start of the school year. So here's the joke, because we visited our grandkids the other day, and we pulled up in the car, and Zeke is his name, and Zeke runs up to Grandpa, and he says, I want to tell you a joke. I want to tell you a dad joke. I said, can I just say hello to our son and our daughter-in-law and your brothers? No, I have to tell you a joke. Where is the best place to get money from the river? The river bank, Grandpa. So that, I just, for those of you that are parents and grandparents, you will understand that in second grade and third grade, the kids tell jokes all the time. So I wanted to just say that I told my grandson I would do that. Yes, I took the liberty at a school board meeting, but I needed to do that. Okay. We have, now for public participation, we have had one person sign up for public participation. I will call the individual up to the podium. Please state your name and relationship to the district and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Please note the following. The speaker has been provided with the guidelines for public participation. The board will consider your comments but will not dialogue or engage with you in this forum. Questions raised may be assigned to the superintendent for an answer. As appropriate, a member of the administration may reach out to the speaker to give them relevant information or to ask for additional information. This is done to make sure the board has all the information needed to properly address the speaker's concerns. Charges, complaints, or challenges against staff members of the district will not be heard in open meetings and should be made in writing to the board and superintendent. We also ask that speakers refrain from personally attacking district staff or members of the board. Pursuant to board policy, this evening's participant will limit their comments to 3 minutes. We ask each participant to be respectful to all individuals who have signed up to speak and adhere to the allotted time limit. We also ask the speaker to conduct themselves in a civil and courteous manner and refrain from trying to engage members of the board in dialogue during public participation. Failure to abide by board time rules or those found out of order by the board may lead to exclusion from the meeting, to be fair to all participants. Please note that the Open Meetings Act provides any person the opportunity to address the board under the adopted public participation policy. That being said, the board would like to advise the public that we will not consider statements read during public participation that are not authored by the reader to be credible unless the board has previously received the statement in writing from the author. Additionally, the author should indicate that he or she has granted the public participant the authority to read the statement on his or her behalf. And we want to thank you for your understanding and cooperation. I'm not, the first person, Stephanie, where's Stephanie? Stephanie, I'm not going to butcher your name, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. I don't want to do that to you. So if you could just tell us who you are, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
It's on.
I believe it is, yes.
Okay, my name is Stephanie Perezansky, and I'm a parent in District 300. And I'm going to read something from the District 300 website. It's founded the non-regulatory guidance supporting transgender, non-binary, and gender non-conforming students, and this is in section D3. And it states that district staff should only discuss a student's transgender, non-binary, or gender non-conforming identity with other staff if it is necessary to support the student's social, emotional, or academic success. Districts should ensure all staff are trained and aware of the district's procedures on confidentiality. Information gathered about the student's transgender, non-binary, or gender non-conforming identity should be kept secure and confidential and not be released or disclosed outside of district staff without the student's explicit consent. And so I'm just wondering, since when did family involvement become obsolete and children become the decision makers? This handbook clearly states that if a student does not explicitly give permission to district staff, then students' information will not be shared with parents because the parents are outside of the district staff, if I'm understanding this correctly. And this fosters a culture of secrecy with our children. And this culture of secrecy sends a message to our children that it's okay to keep secrets from their parents or guardians. And this is also creating a safe haven for individuals such as the one that was arrested last month with charges of possessing child pornography that was a District 300 employee. So it's creating a safe haven for predators like him. Our children's safety and the parents' involvement should be the #1 priority here, and not keeping parents in the dark. So that's my message for you all today, is to consider how fostering that culture of secrecy can affect our children, not just mine, everybody in the district. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Items for discussion, or excuse me, number 8, superintendent report.
Yes, I'd like to have, can you turn the next slide? John Mickle to come up to the podium to review our summer, provide an overview of our summer capital projects.
Good evening. Thanks for having me tonight. I'm super excited to share some of the great projects our staff and our partners in LAMP, Dewberry, our architect, Leggett, our architect, and also Interstate work together to get accomplished this summer. All right. So this statement, one team, one goal, really kind of sums up this summer. As you can see on the left-hand side, that's our maintenance and ground staff putting together all the dollies and the carts, getting ready for the big move before construction. And on the right, I specifically picked staff that weren't in the building that they're working in right now. We really brought everybody together to get this accomplished this summer. Let me go to the next one. There you go. Okay. So preparation for construction. We had 4 buildings this year. We had to move classrooms out. 86 classrooms moved out and then back in. This is kind of a picture of before and after of DMS's secondary gym. We got all this accomplished between 4:30 on Friday the 26th and finished up about 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon on the 28th. So a really amazing feat. Also at Westfield, Sleepy Hollow, and DeLacy. Some of the highlights from our staff that we did this summer, working with purchasing, we removed and disposed of over 1,000 desks and chairs from 6 different schools for new equipment. In coordinating also with HR, we worked and transferred 112 staff members district-wide to different schools, moving them, all their stuff and all their belongings into new homes for the school year. We have 4 staff members that target all our carpet replacement. And we replaced over 11,800 square feet of carpet this summer. We'll go into that a little later. Our district painter, working with some of the schools, painted over 105 spaces. Our district electricians, working by themselves and then also with the high school staff, replaced 446 light fixtures over from T8s and T5s to more efficient LEDs. Over 2,500 feet of sewer lines were jetted by our district plumber, making sure they're fresh and ready. Well, I guess not fresh, sorry. They're ready to go at least for the school year, sorry. And then our grounds team, one of their major jobs this summer was Meadowdale's playground was, over the years, mulch builds up and kind of just compacts and gets harder and harder and turns into basically dirt. So we scraped off about 2 feet of that, put in new playground in the fall zones, and then we also worked and improved the drainage that is attached to the playground. So that was kind of that was a lot of work, a lot of fun. some of the other work that our team did, Hampshire Middle School came to us and needed some more smaller instructional spaces. So we identified with them a room where we could convert it. So our team went in, gutted it, created 10 small spaces for staff to use. The one on the right was taken last Wednesday. It is now complete. They hung the doors today, carpet's all installed and ready to go. At Hampshire Middle School, we also, with the new administrator there, we converted the mailroom area in the front office, and we're able to reconfigure that and make a small office for that staff member as well. Hampshire High worked with us to replace the carpet in the media center and in their incubation rooms. And basically the way that works is we have our building staff strip the carpet up, and then our team comes in, lays down the glue and the carpet, and we move on, and new base. Lakewood, district-wide, sorry, the one on the left kind of looks like a Batman scene from one of their shows, but that's the before picture. We've targeted over the past 5 years a lot of our kitchen spaces that have become outdated and more expensive to fix when we have problems, and they're also all in place. So what we've done, working with purchasing and also Deb Mason from food service, we kind of set a standard on what we want with equipment moving forward. Efficient equipment, it's readily available, and so are their parts. And it's all mobile on wheels. So it's easier for our staff to move it out, interchangeable, and then if we have to reconfigure the kitchen space, we can also do that pretty easy. So this was Lakewood this summer with all new equipment. Hampshire High School. We have gone through every building and replaced all the metal halide and the high pressure sodium lights that are really energy guzzlers. And now we're going back through and hitting some of our larger spaces. Hampshire High School had original T5 lighting, which is not terribly inefficient, but it was starting to fail. The tombstones on the ends were breaking, and they're expensive to replace, and it's also 35 feet up in the air. So over the summer, our district electricians replaced all 163 lights in the competition and then also in the field house. Hampshire High School staff then decided to go in and really attack their locker rooms and switched out all the lights for us in there. So it was a good team effort there, working together. Our staff, our district staff, kind of worked with them, showed them how to do it, and then the maintenance member at the high school replaced them. Carpersville Middle School, in their athletic entrance on the gym. I don't know if you've ever been in there, but it has any large space gets kind of stuff placed in it and things like that. So when you walked in, you kind of saw this on the left. So on both sides when you walk in, some of our maintenance staff created 2 closet spaces, and then HVAC also assisted with putting in some ventilation in there. So now you can walk in, they can keep everything locked up and put away. Made it look a much nicer look. Sleepy Hollow did not have an oven, so all their food products had to be brought in from the hub in Westfield. So it's an older school, didn't have the electrical load. So this summer we installed a new panel and then put a new stove in, working with Deb Mason Food Service, which should hopefully expedite the delivery of food to the students and fresher. So. Westfield, in the vendor switchover this summer, we really took a look at this and realized that there was a space that wasn't being used. It was just kind of a dump zone for old equipment. So working with our food service vendor, since their hub is out of Westfield, they were excited to move into Westfield to be able to keep their office staff and their management staff closer to the operation. By doing this, we moved them out of the buildings and grounds and purchasing building next door, which opened up a lot of space for meeting and also, utilize professional development days. So we can have that space for that. And it was, all we did here was we put a new wall in on the left to eliminate that garage door opener, and carpeted it, painted it, and put in some HVAC. So really nice space and perfect for their needs. This is one of my favorite. Dundee Crown came to us and said, hey, we're short 100 and change lockers in the boys' PE locker rooms and just under 100 in the girls' locker room. So we utilize, if you see the picture on the left, that is the before picture with the old shower stalls and some in the back, and then the shower tower. In both rooms, we eliminated that half wall, which really opened the space up for student movement. And then the lockers, which I believe they're either coming this week or next week, will be on the right wall in the little indent areas, the insert areas. So really excited about how we could open the space here for them. And then also the lighting is going to be changed out with LED lighting. ECU was having, especially this past year, we really saw some major erosion on the north side of their building between them and AMS. So our lead mason kind of developed this whole system. It was kind of aggressive when I saw it. I'm like, wow, that's going to be interesting. And it's turned out amazing. It looks awesome. It really handles all the water coming off of that, those hard surface areas to the east of that, the parking lots. So this was taken early last week. Right now we are just finishing the grading tomorrow, and then we'll hydro seed it and have it ready to go for the students. So, I mean, they're not going to be up there, but I mean, it's, at least, I hope not. So that's not my department. So, This project came to us right before the school year went out. Algonquin Middle School got a grant for a garden, and for so we worked with them. Our grounds team was really excited about this, to be able to put their stamp on it. And they couldn't get some of the equipment or some of the product quick enough. They wanted to do it so the kids could actually plant the seeds this summer. So we used the playground. We had some leftover playground ties from a different project. Got it all in there. The guys, you can see our team working, really, all of them are working. That's the best part. Usually sometimes you come up on a place and people are standing around, but everybody was working, putting in the hard work. And then it turned out, and if you go by there now, I drove by there again today. It's the plants, I don't know if it's zucchini or whatever, is growing out like almost to the street. It's pretty cool. So it was a very productive project this summer. Jacob's office, this is in the back office near their conference areas. The tile was starting to crack. It was uneven. We had some issues. So working with the high school staff, we ripped it all up. They took that chance to update some of the furniture that was original to the building that really wasn't ideal for what they needed to do to serve the students. So we put new carpet, fixed the issues with the flooring and put new carpeting in. Dundee Crown high efficient water heaters. They were original to the building, 20 years plus old. And also we realized that the main hot water domestic shutoff valve was not holding. So luckily it only happened once. We had to drain the entire building to make a repair. So during the summer we shut it down. This was our district plumber, who does an amazing job. Installed a whole new major main valve shutoff, and then the new water heaters to more efficient, and we have hot water at all times now. It's nice. Hampshire High, original to the building, same kind of setup. These started failing. They started rusting out of the bottom. Our district plumber, and working along with our HVAC team, was able to get 2 new ones in there, and then in the dock area, and then also the auto shop area. During the winter, it wasn't keeping up when they had to bring the cars in and out, or deliveries. The heat wasn't keeping up, so we put new Resner style heating, more efficient ones though, to supplement that and make sure our students are warm, and also our staff in the building. Sleepy Hollow and Parkview got new playgrounds. We're excited. Our grounds team loves doing playgrounds and helping out with that, because I think they actually play with them after I leave. I don't know, but it's fine. They're great. So these both are 2 additions to the original playgrounds at each school. So these were 2 great projects. Every year we go around in the fall and identify concrete that's failing district-wide. I'm going to show you just three examples of what we did this year, but we did over, almost 5,000 square feet of concrete replacement, along with 267 lineal feet of curbs. So Perry had the playground going out to the street. Playground, I'm still on that one. I apologize. The sidewalk going out to the street was pitching and cracked real bad, so that was replaced. Dundee Middle School, this is one of the ADA accessible where they drop off for handicapped students. That was cracking and failing, but then also behind that's where all the kids come out for gym when they go out into the field. And there was a space of about 8 feet that would just turn to mud every year. We seeded it, we sodded it one year when I was here, and it's finally like, we're just doing all concrete. So I hope the gym teachers, they seem to be excited when we told them about it, so we'll see. But for concrete, this is my favorite project. I know I say favorite a lot, but this is my favorite concrete project. So Hampshire came to us. The area on the left is a space where they get dropped off, and when they get ready to leave, they hang out in the space. It's crushed granite. It was really gets pushed all over the place. It's slippery, and also the pitch is towards the building. So we're ponding water around the building. So we worked with them to create this new space with concrete, and then correctly pitched away from the building. So that'll help our foundation as well. 4 projects, sorry. Lincoln Prairie, new concrete apron in the driveway. That was splitting up pretty bad, so we had that replaced as well. Algonquin Middle School got a new track this summer. This track out of all our middle schools was the most problematic with the cracks and the bad base that we had there. So we also realized that it's the only, this was with Mr. Adrian Harris, that it was the only track that does not have ADA access to from the building. So we were able to get that into the project, which was awesome. And then it's all striped, ready to go for the school year. New intercoms at Westfield, Liberty, Eastview, and Dundee Middle School. Some of our older buildings are starting to fail. These were, and it's a great addition to have this now that they can communicate, hear everybody. One of on the left there is actually DMS's. This is from their phase 1. In phase 1, which is 45,000 square feet, we got all new lighting as well. So the way we programmed it is they're all LED, they're dimmable, and then also the front row can go, you can shut the front row off for the smart board or for the instruction. So kind of a nice little feature that we were able to get in there for the staff and students. Hampshire High School, the neighborhood, Gas Road. This will help us accommodate students, be able to walk to school and have a safe passage to there. This was completed this summer as well. Westfield Gym, when we replaced the carpeted gym, I believe it was 2 years ago, the teacher was kind of like, hey, it's really loud in there now. And so nothing to absorb it. And so we did a sound study to make sure everything was, that there was a need there, and it came back like it did. We needed it. So we were able to install, this was a Leggett project. They worked with the design of sound panels, and then also the whole gym was painted as well, just to give it a fresh look. If you have a chance to go by there, this looks really cool. They did the picture doesn't give it justice. Jacobs Roofing Project, kind of the not shiny stuff that nobody really sees, but we are very aggressive with Interstate, our vendor, on checking our roofs. They're actually doing some work right now, preliminary for next year, to scan them to make sure we stay up there, we don't have a problem in the future. So Jacobs had an overlay of some of the roofing on the north side of the building, and then also over the center by the library and into the field house. That is all wrapped up. They demobilized yesterday, and they are gone. Sleepy Hollow new flooring in the Rocky Road edition. That's what everybody's called it since I've been here. So, and some people are like, where is it? But there it is. The rock's on the wall there. So, new flooring in the hallway, and then in the classrooms, we went from the carpet to the standard LVT, which does not need finish applied to it, which is huge for cleaning and maintenance. We can just go in there, sanitize it, wash it, and then it's done and ready to go for school to start. Jacobs High School, second floor washroom remodel. The students didn't leave that way. This was already after demolition. But so everything basically, like we've been doing district-wide on some of our older bathrooms, is gutting everything out, putting a new resin floor in, all new fixtures, and then partitions. This was taken last Thursday. Partitions and everything are now up, and the washrooms are ready to go. DeLacy space remodel, bringing in more preschool preschool classes into here and staff. We were able to remodel a couple spaces to make it more efficient and a better learning environment. So this was the big staff area that we had completely redone. You can see the red marking in there. That's where all the electric was cored in for the new partitions and cubicles. Oak Ridge added another section and needed another classroom. So we worked with our architect to find out, hey, it's not that big of a building. Where can we do this? This actually looks like, if you go in there now, you would think that classroom was always there. We utilized part of the kitchen area, or the cafeteria area, and put a new classroom in there. So that's ready to, this was right before they cleaned last Wednesday the floors. So. Westfield Elementary, the elementary classrooms and the main office got new flooring. The picture doesn't give it justice. That flooring is unbelievable. I was blown away by how great it looked. And then the classroom, we went away from carpet and into the LVT as well. Dundee Middle School was our big project, like I mentioned before, 45,000 square feet this year of new geothermal HVAC system, complete HVAC overhaul, also new ceiling grid, new ceiling tiles, and new ceiling lights, new LED lights. And then the new intercoms district. In the whole building, we put the new intercom and new clocks. So this started out, this was a big project. But here you see on the left are 2 efficient boilers to heat the water in the winter for heating. And then also those are high efficient water heaters for the domestic water in the building. This room before, you could not see anything. That's how big our air handlers were and all our equipment. So this, we cut down in here probably 70% of the space with the new high efficient equipment. This is the classroom before and after. You can see the, well, not before, but kind of in the middle of, but new lighting on the right and new ceiling grids and then the new air supply there in the middle. Hallway, dooring, all new piping throughout the whole building for the geothermal system. And then that was right before we started scrubbing and finishing the floors. And then this is our pump house. If you've ever been behind the school, there's a little pump house sitting there. And it kind of sat, it's where the old well used to come in. So we utilized that. It actually has a basement that's like 15 feet deep. It's pretty cool. And it's all redone now. These are the pumps that actually pump all to the right, those are 90 wells in that field that you cannot see. It's been top dressed and seeded. So that'll be turned back over so the school can use it for gym and I guess track season. And then it'll be ready for the Magnificent Mile too, or the Midnight Mile, sorry, there you go. But on the left, so that pump room, all those wells tie into the pump house, come to those pumps and then go into the building into the mechanical room that I showed you. So that's pretty much my summer. Our team did a great job. I got to recognize real quick, Rick Weger, who's our facility manager, Matt Campata, who is our custodial manager, Paul Wilhoff, who is our grounds manager. But the real stars of this summer were our team, our over 200 maintenance, custodial, and ground staff. They all came together. When push came to shove, everybody was there and everybody was ready to go. So I'm super proud of the team. I appreciate the board, all your support for our department, Dr. Harkin, Dr. Smith, and then Jennifer Porter, our CFO. Our team couldn't have done it without anybody, so without everybody I mentioned, and just super proud of everybody. So, thank you.
Great job. Board members, any comments at all or anything?
This is my favorite meeting of the year because I get to see everything you guys have been doing, and you guys always do a fantastic job. And I just want to remind the people who are here and who are watching that you guys save us a lot of money.
Thank you.
Not only do you do a great job, but you're saving us a lot of money because we're lucky to be able to have you guys to do this work where a lot of districts don't, and they have to hire out all this work. So great work and saving us money and great people and nothing to be upset about ever. So every year, this is my favorite meeting.
Any other board members? No?
Great job.
Thank you.
Great job.
All right, so next I'll have Dr. Jeff Herb come to just give you a little overview of our summer school programming that we provided this summer.
Thank you. Good evening, members of the board. That's a great segue into our summer programming. I would say that this summer in particular, as you saw all the different projects going on throughout the district, it was a great partnership with the B&G staff to still bring in almost 3,000 students into our buildings to provide summer programming for them. So I certainly appreciate the B&G team still trying to make things work so we can offer the programming that we want to get our students in our buildings as well. So thank you, John. On the first slide, there's a few programs that I want to talk to you about that we ran this summer. Summer Scholars was one of them. We've kind of reimagined a program that we've run historically for a couple weeks throughout the summer and offered a more specific curriculum that we provided PD and training to our staff and gave them these materials to utilize. We got tremendous feedback from our staff about how well that program ran. We were able to offer it in 8 different locations. We ran them as zones so that everyone had a location nearby their home or base school that they could attend if they wanted to be part of this program. We also were lucky enough to be able to provide hub-based transportation for all the students should they be interested, so that transportation was not a barrier for students being able to participate. We offered this program to 7 grades. That was our incoming 1st through 8th graders. We had 61 teachers sign up to be part of this program, And we were able to offer 846 students the opportunity to be part of extended learning into our summer. So it was a great program. At the middle school level, students were able to go on a field trip downtown to the Field Museum. And at our elementary level, we had various guest speakers come in and be able to provide an on-site experience for those students. So a lot of great feedback from that program. We were excited to be able to offer that to our students. Additionally, we ran our credit recovery and credit enrichment program this summer. The main, highlight is in the middle there. Total courses completed by our students participating in this program was 1,691. That was completed by almost 900 students, 899 that were involved in this program. It ran over the course of 24 days. I like to kind of focus on the two different levels because it kind of means two different things. Our middle school students had credit recovery, 204 of them participated in the recovery aspect of that. And then when you transition to the high school, looking at courses completed for credit recovery in high school, 897, and that translates to 743 of the credit recovery credits, and then 295 of the enrichment pieces. So what that really breaks down for us is in the middle school level, we're able to reduce the amount of retentions and allow students to continue on into high school with their grade appropriate peers. And then additionally, with the enrichment piece at the high school level, we have the opportunity for students to take some of the courses that might be prerequisites for other courses in the summer, allowing them to get to further higher level courses during their school year and their tenure in high school. So that's a really exciting program that a lot of students were able to take advantage of. We also run our Education Services ESY program. This year was certainly a feat, I'm sure, for Mrs. Nackey with Dundee Middle School being so deeply under construction. That's been the home for ESY for the past several years. But we're certainly appreciative to DeLacy, Eastview, Lincoln Prairie, and Algonquin Middle, who graciously hosted and split up our program to be able to allow this program to continue happening as it provides a great service for our students. We had 247 students at Algonquin Middle, 132 at Lincoln Prairie, 63 at Eastview, and 93 at DeLacy, servicing each of the different programs that you see listed on the screen. Now, alongside that, we like to offer some opportunities for our students to experience some of the different things they might be able to encounter at high school. So for our first session of Fine Arts Camp, we had band, orchestra, and choir at Carpentersville Middle School. The choir grades were 5 through 8, and the band and orchestra were 6 through 8. And they had some opportunities to not only do band, orchestra, and choir, but also do things such as jazz improv, bucket drumming, and ukulele. So kind of mix it up a little bit. In our second session, that was more of the visual art and theater component of Fine Arts Camp, and that was also at CMS. Those were grades 3 through 5 and 6 through 8 for art, and 3 through 6 for theater. In the art component, they experienced printmaking, designing, and sewing ugly dolls. Tie-dye, that's just not my personal judgment on their work. That's an actual thing, just so you know. Tie-dyeing t-shirts and sculpting ice cream bowls out of clay. And then the theater students were also learning about costuming, props, acting, singing, and dancing. Really great feedback from all the students participating in our fine arts camps, and it's great to have them have some experience in that. Hopefully that translates into their involvement in these different areas in high school. And then one of the other camp areas that ran was our CTE camps located at both Dundee Crown and Hampshire high schools. The different areas you can see: welding, autos, business and entrepreneurship, financial concepts, engineering, robotics, fashion, and culinary arts, all different areas that are part of our Pathways programs, many of which are offered at each of our high schools, just giving, again, another opportunity for our students to be involved in some of these areas that they might not have any experience in, and hopefully open up some different opportunities for them to find themselves in these classes when they get to high school. And so, yeah, it has been a busy summer. Almost 3,000 students brought in after the school year ended, and we're glad to be able to have them in our buildings throughout the summer as well.
Board members, any questions or comments? No? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
All right, and next up, we have Ms. Porter here to talk about the tentative budget.
Good evening again. I'm here tonight to provide a high-level overview of the FY 23-24 education plan, also known as the tentative budget. Earlier this evening, we went over more in detail of the tentative budget during our operations committee meeting. I'm gonna review the budget assumptions, our budget requests, projected revenue and expenditures, our operating funds, and our debt fund. We're gonna go over our 2024 proposed capital projects, and then our capital projections, all funds projections, and then we'll go over some financial information. When we look at our revenues, we're looking at what is known as levy year 2022, which was approved last December. It was $63 million in new property with a 5% CPI rate. We're looking also at levy year 23, which will come this November, and we're looking at $50 million of new property and another 5% at CPI. Again, the board will discuss that in the fall to decide how we want to do the levy. Interest has increased. Everybody knows that the interest rates are going up. We've added $4.4 million to the budget this year for interest. Again, this is the third year that student fees have been waived. So we have a relatively small line item for student fees. Corporate personal property replacement taxes, we're expecting 75% of the fiscal year 23. Those are the projections that we've received so far. We won't know the actual until hopefully by September when we approve the budget. Evidence-based funding, we are expecting to receive additional $1.9 million. We have that in all of our financial projections moving forward in the next 5 years. Other state, we're flat, and then we will be utilizing the remaining of our ESSER funding of $18.5 million. Expenditures, salaries are per our negotiated collective bargaining agreements. Health insurance increased by 16%. Unfortunately, that is what is going on in the market currently. A lot of deferred procedures due to COVID, as well as there are some serious conditions. Tuition outplacements increase of 5%. Charter school payment is flat. Transportation and food service, per the contracts that we approved this last year, we're in year 1 of new contracts for both. Sanitation, water, and sewer supplies are both at 4% increase. Equipment is at 5% increase. And then our cyber liability, general liability, and workers' comp came in at 7.5%. Here are the budget positions that were requested in March by the board, or from the board. Board approved, let's just say that. Assistant Superintendent of Schools for goals 1 through 5. We have assistant principal at Westfield. We have deans at Huntley, I almost said Huntley. Hampshire Middle School, Dundee Middle School. Jacobs High School, we added a family school liaison. Hampshire High School, we added a counselor. Eastview, we added a nurse. And we have an HR coordinator due to a new mandate with Faith's Law. Again, most of those are due to staffing ratios. The total amount of that is $735,000, and those will be funded, they will be offset by the new $1.9 million of new evidence-based funding. Additional positions that were blended using supplemental grants. We have a DeLacy assistant principal to support our DeLacy students. We have an education service compliance coordinator and a college and career readiness coordinator. And those requests came out to be $218,000 out of our supplemental grants and $120,000 out of EBF. When we look at our operating funds, the projected revenue, we see that we have a 5% increase in our property taxes, and that again is attributed to our levy. Our other local revenue increased by 33%, and that is attributed to the interest rates going up. Our state funding is based on evidence-based funding, where we are receiving evidence-based funding of $69 million for the upcoming year. And other state revenue takes into consideration our transportation claim and other special ed claims that we receive. And then as you'll see, our total federal revenue has increased by 61%, and that is attributed to the remaining of our ESSER funds. Next year, you will see that that number will dramatically decrease. So overall, our total revenue has increased 9.7%. Here you will see that revenue by percentages. Local revenue is at 66%, state revenue is at 26%, and our federal revenue makes up 8% of our total revenue in our operating funds. When we look at our projected expenses by object, you see our salaries have increased by 1.49%. Those include the positions that were approved for this year, and that number is a little lower than you would expect, and that is because we have outsourced our substitutes, and that expense now is in our purchase services line. Benefits increased by 18.14%, and that's attributed to our collective bargaining agreements as well as our health insurance renewal costs. Purchase services, again, increased 23%, and that's attributed to the items that I had mentioned earlier with our transportation contract, our food service contract, and EDGE staff. Supplies and materials have a modest increase of 20%. Those are for instructional enhancements as well as for inflation. We have capital outlay and non-capitalized equipment, which has increased, and we're particularly focusing on some special projects. In addition, there are funds that are from the National School Lunch Program that we are enhancing our food service programs with. So when you look at it, our expenditures have increased by 10.8% for an overall $347 million in our operating funds. Whoops. There. When you look at the pie, you see that salaries are 57%, benefits are 15%, purchase services are 18%, supplies are 4%, other objects are 4%, and that is your tuition, and your non-capitalized equipment is 2%. Debt fund is where we pay all of our bonded debt payments from. In this, we're expecting $25 million as local revenue, and that's off of our property taxes. Our expenses for our debt payments, as well as some contracted fees, result in about $25.3 million. There is a slight deficit, and that is due to an abatement that we did based off of a restructuring of debt last winter. So you'll see that we have a deficit of 1.7. However, we have a healthy fund balance. So what we're going to talk about next is our capital projects. John did a fabulous job in showcasing what we have been doing. We are working towards a master facility plan update, and really we want to develop a plan that ensures all students have access to an optimal learning environment. And you can see here we have Hampshire Elementary, which we know needs work, and we have Big Timber Elementary. And what we're looking to do with this master facility update is make sure that all students have the same educational opportunities. Our master facility plan for summer 2024, we have projects that total $15 million. There are several items in here that we're very excited about progressing with, and we, you know, there's things in here that we definitely have to take care of. You'll see in here also we have the master facility cost of $307,000. When we look at our capital projects fund, we do have revenues of $12.1 million, and our capital expenditures are estimated at $22 million, which is a deficit. But we also have $12 million that's coming in for a fund transfer from the O&M fund, and so you'll see that there's a $1.4 million surplus. As we look into the future and we talk about the master facility plan, we really wanted to share with you what projects we have outlined. So in 2025, we've already projected that we're going to do these projects. We have $12.4 million worth of projects for 2025. In 2026, we have $3.8 million that are already identified. 2027, we have $1.5 million that are identified. However, what you really need to see is we have $84 million that we have not decided when we're going to actually do those projects. And with the master facility plan update, this obviously will change. When we look at our tentative budget, all funds, we have $395 million in revenue, $395 million in expenditures. We have a slight deficit of $70,000, which will be covered by fund balance. And that is what I have on the budget. Are there any questions on this?
No? Board members? No? Okay, thank you.
Just real quick, I'll go through our financial information. Our operating expense per pupil for District 300 is $15,000, where the state is at almost 18. If we were to spend as much as the state, we would have an additional $37.9 million that would need to be added to our budget. When we look at our Kane County neighbors for school districts, for last year's operating expense per pupil, our operating expense per pupil was $15,000, almost $16,000. Geneva's was the highest at $18,000. That if we were to spend what Geneva spends, we'd have to add additional $47.3 million more to our budget. And then this one is our Kane County School District's 2022 tax rate. Last year, with the 5% increase in CPI, as well as with our EAV increasing, the district's tax rate went down 19 cents, and right now we're at 5.14, and we are tied for the second lowest in the county for school districts. In September, actually, I should first tell you that tonight we'll be asking you to approve the tentative budget and place it on display. In the meantime, I will be looking at what new information comes in, particularly with state revenues, as well as we'll be looking at other projects if we need to. And we will come back in September for you to approve the final budget. Are there any questions?
Board members, any comments? Mr.
Well,
Fiorentino?
if there are changes in funding, will you highlight those for us?
I will.
Prior to the vote on the 26th?
We will discuss those at the September Operations Committee meeting, but I will definitely make sure they were highlighted on that presentation that night during the budget hearing.
Okay, Nancy?
I just want to say, like with Mr. Mickles and his team, Jennifer Porter and her team is responsible for the great financial position we're in. And we are, again, lucky because we have a team that those two teams work together, and they are all doing a great job in making sure that we are doing well financially, and we have places to send our kids to school.
Okay. Ms. Burkett?
I would just like to thank you for going over the presentation again. Just so that everyone knows, 6 of the board members were present at tonight's committee meeting. So we've heard this for the second time tonight, but the first time we heard it in more detail and we're able to ask any questions we might have. So that's why we're not asking any at this time. But great presentation.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you very much. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, and then, as we discussed, when we presented and you approved our strategic priority task, tonight we're going to showcase and talk about the progress that we've made on strategic goal 5, which is focused on equitably and efficiently using resources. So I've got Jennifer and Mr. Hummel here from technology to go over that work, and Mr. Thomas is the liaison, and we did review this work with him as well too, and he can certainly chime in with any feedback he has on the work we've completed.
Yes, we had a very nice meeting. Appreciate it. So goal number 5, align resources equitably and efficiently. The key priority of goal 5 is to maximize district resources to provide all students with the tools and resources to be successful. In our progress update for 5A, it's on educational return of investment for professional development. The goal of EROI is to use data to analyze which programs and services are producing the best outcomes for students while maximizing the use of resources. By the end of the 23-24 school year, we will develop an educational return on investment process to evaluate programs using recommended outcomes with a focus on the coaching programs as our first focus. As you'll see here, our work that we've completed, we participated in a DM group training session for educational return on investment. That was a 4-month program that Dr. Harkin, Dr. Smith, Cara, Liz, Alyssa, and Allison all participated with. And I'm Patty Schmidt. And it was very detailed, and we went through a detailed process. During that piece, we developed our framework for coaching ERI, the ERI review, and those are the 2 items that we have completed right now. We have started on the other steps, but our next steps are reviewing the analysis design for coaching the EROI review, communicate our outcomes, develop a plan to proceed based on our outcomes.
And just so we understand what this is, because I feel like we're being a little jargony tonight, so I want to step back. So one of the ways we invest and support our staff is we have instructional coaches that work with them, and it's definitely an evidence-based research that says that there's a high effect rate that comes along with doing this. But we want to make sure as we spend those dollars, we want to make sure that they actually translate to making sure that we can support our teachers to be highly effective. And so we've been looking at that model and saying, okay, is it yielding what we want it to? Because there's different coaching models out there that exist in the world. Not to suggest that we're doing anything wrong, but we felt because, one of our biggest and best asset is our teachers, and making sure that they can provide highly effective instruction to our students, and coaching is one of the tools that we use to do that. So we're either going to confirm that we're doing it very well, which I'm hopeful of, or maybe we'll suggest some slight tweaks on could we be doing it differently. And so we will then be, as part of this process, we work with the union and talk to them. We will include them. We've got priority task teams that we'll review this work with, but that's specifically what this item is for. And then once we develop this EROI process, we will then select other line items in the budget to determine how is it translating to improving student outcomes. And so I think that's the framework that we're hoping to get, and this was the targeted area we looked at in the beginning.
Yes. Are there any questions on 5A? Mr. Hummel is going to review 5B.
Okay, so similar to 5A, we are also looking to develop an EROI process and recommended outcomes to enhance and improve the effectiveness of technology tools and resources to improve the usage of technology for academic outcomes and operational efficiencies. So that is our overall goal for how we will review technology. What we've completed so far is we have inventoried all physical and digital technology tools that we use in the district. Physical, we actually went to every room to see what was in the rooms, what are we using, and we're going to analyze that compared to what we have stored in our actual physical inventories. And then for digital tools, we use a platform called Learn Platform, which analyzes all digital tools, whether it's purchased or not, that is used by staff and students on our computers. And so our next step is to analyze the tool utilization to determine whether they are using them properly. Also to see whether, tools that are like main for our curriculum are being used efficiently in the classroom. And then we will communicate those outcomes once we have that data. Again, we're going to try to use last year's as our benchmark and then review this first semester to see how that utilization compares to last year. And then hopefully come up with a plan for technology replacement and professional development based on those outcomes to say if this is a tool that we are needing to use and we are not using it enough, we need to provide more professional development to our teachers to how to use it properly so we can increase student engagement and outcomes. Any questions?
Board members? No?
All right. I think the next one's back to you.
Yep. Thank you. Having an optimal learning environment is critical for student success. We have added additional instructional supports and are educating differently than the original construction of our buildings. Therefore, it is imperative that we review our current educational practices, learning environments, and our building conditions to ensure that they are meeting the needs of our students, and to develop a plan to address these deficits that are barriers to student learning. That is the goal of the Master Facility Plan. By the end of the 23-24 school year, we will update and refine the district master facility plan aligned to basic maintenance, capacity, safety, energy efficiency, and programmatic needs to develop a plan to ensure all students have access to an optimal learning environment. The work that we've completed, we've selected and recommended an architect to the board to complete the master facility plan. We went over that in the operations committee meeting this morning, or this morning, this afternoon. And the board will review that and vote on that at the second board meeting of this month. The next steps will be to complete the facility assessment, complete the educational assessment, complete the safety assessment, complete mechanical evaluation, develop a building utilization plan, develop the master facility plan report, and then last but not least, develop a funding plan to execute the master facility report. This, all of these steps will be done with different groups of people. We will be tagging people for core areas to make sure that that's not just something that the operations team is doing. Is there any questions on this?
Okay.
This is a summary slide to see where we are at with our goal 5. On our professional development, we have completed 40% of the steps. We're working diligently to continue with the work that we need to do. For the technology plan, we're at 10%. And I think John feels very comfortable with the plan that he has. And the master facility plan, obviously you've heard tonight, we are approximately at 10%. John and I are scheduled to return in February to provide the next update to the progress made on the Goal 5. And then we will also be working with Mr. Thomas on regular updates. Are there any follow-up questions or comments, Susan?
No.
Dr. Harkin?
No?
So what you see here is the beginning point of what the dashboard that we're going to be providing on the district website for our goals. So each time that we bring forward, we'll present. This one's unique because it's project-based, so it's based upon a percentage where we actually have measures where we're measuring student attendance or something else. There'll be numbers that we're comparing it to that will provide colors of where we're progressing in comparison to the benchmark that we've selected. But this is an example of where we're just, how far along are we with the work that we're projecting to complete for this. So again, this will be the dashboard to hold us accountable to making sure we're getting the work done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're on item number 9, items for discussion. I will read each item individually to allow for any discussion. As a note to those in attendance, both virtually and in person, some of these items have been vetted through the Board Operations Committee, which is why there may not be a need for new discussion. 9.1, Board Meeting Minutes for July 18th, 2023. 9.2, Disposal Report. 9.3, Treasurer's Report. 9.4, Copier Paper Bid Extension. 9.5, Nurse and Health Athletic Training Supplies Bid. 9.6, Special Education Opportunity Review Agreement. 9.7, Assessment Software Contract Renewal. 9.8, Master Facility Plan Contract. 9.9, Technology Services Contract Renewals. 9.10, Theater Equipment Rental Agreement. 9.11, Work-Based Learning Pilot Program Memo of Understanding. 9.12, Enterprise Resource Planning Software, RFP. 9.13, Consolidated District Plan 2023 through 2024. 9.14, Out-of-State Service Credit. And 9.15, Freedom of Information Act Report. Item number 10 are the consent items. Do I have a motion to approve the consent items?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Zettler?
Aye.
Fiorentino?
Aye.
Burkett? Aye. Scarpino?
Aye.
Thomas? McKindy?
Aye.
Gothier?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Item number 11, roll call action items. 11.1, approval of tentative budget, education plan requests, and capital project design work 2023 through 2024. 2024.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion, board members? No? Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Zettler?
Aye.
Burkett? Aye. Gothier? Aye. Scarpino?
Aye.
McKindy?
Aye.
Thomas? Fiorentino?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Item number 11.2, approval of DESA memorandum of understanding. Do I have a motion for the approval of the DESA memorandum of understanding?
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Zettler?
Aye.
McKindy?
Aye.
Thomas?
Aye.
Fiorentino?
Aye.
Gothier? Aye. Burkett? Aye. Scarpino?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Item number 12, board discussion. Any updates for the board committees?
Just that the next Operations Committee meeting will be September 12th at 4:30.
Okay. Any board members have anything they'd like to share? I would like to say something, please. During the Tuesday, July 18th board meeting, I mentioned that 2 individuals were responsible for nearly 30% of the district's total FOIA requests over a 2-year period. From July 1st, 2021 through approximately July 11th, 2023, 134 people submitted 342 FOIA requests, with 2 individuals accounting for 95 of those requests, almost 30% of the total. The district has spent approximately 629 hours responding to emails and addressing FOIA requests for these 2 individuals. These 2 individuals have exchanged 2,906 emails with district staff, estimated at 726.5 hours of staff's time spent corresponding with them. And that's more than one person. It's not, staff means it could go to the superintendent responds and then one of the assistant superintendents. Since our July 18th meeting, just 21 days ago, one of these individuals has sent an additional 6 emails and 11 FOIA requests. The board and I are trying to understand and determine specifically what these 2 individuals are seeking, since the only time the board can make a decision is when we have a properly noticed board meeting. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that all board meeting dates, times, agendas, and locations are posted on the district website and recorded for everyone to view. The board is fully committed to ensuring our agendas, discussions, decisions, comments, and voting is fully transparent. The district remains committed to building relationships with all members of our community. With a community our size, we understand complete agreement on all topics may not always be possible, but we believe we can move forward together in the pursuit of a shared goal, that being every student in our system, regardless of their economic status, their race, or their gender, feels safe in our schools, feels connected to their peers, and achieves academic success. I formally invite these 2 individuals to meet with me and Dr. Harkin. We would like to listen to your perspectives and discuss the pursuit of our shared goal. Our purpose is to clearly understand from your perspective what you are looking for that you have not received in the 2,906 email exchanges the district has provided to you, and over 100 FOIA requests. I ask that you send Dr. Harkin and me several dates and times within the next few days that fit your schedules. We, in turn, will look at our schedules and hopefully come to a consensus with you. Let us find common ground to ensure that the district's resources are allocated to ensure every student feels safe, feels connected, and achieves academic success. Dr. Harkin and I look forward to hearing from you in the coming days. Board members, any comments or questions or anything? No? With that, I'd like a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Aye.
Zettler. Thomas. Scarpino.
Aye.
McKindy.
Aye.
Gothier.
Aye.
Burkett, aye. Motion passes 7-0.
We are adjourned.